we are back to continue our deep delve into the manufacturing and development process of the Timex Sinclair 1500. I was thinking about it this morning, and uh, we don't, we're really lucky to have all these documents and have them all preserved. And we're kind of like tea leaf reading here, archaeology style. But with anything archaeology, you only get what was preserved, and that's less than half, even a very small fraction. But even so, we've learned an awful lot.
Yeah, and let's see what is reserved for us.
Yeah.
So delighted to be here once again. I don't think I ever felt so much inside a rabbit hole, but this must be it because we're stuck. We can't get out of here.
This is a
So
rabbit hole, yes.
yeah, okay, but let's go back to our endeavor.
So let's jump back to April 1983.
Okay, next document in the list. I don't know
Oh,
what this
hello.
is. Some schematics
Yeah.
with some signs,
Okay.
rush
This,
signal.
let's see what's coming in on the left is
34,
address
13, 38.
enables.
MREC, which is one of the signs, and
Yeah, yeah. Ross select
signals.
keyboard. Oh,
Let me take some zoom.
yeah. Is this how many pages are there in this?
A
Looks like
few.
a few. Okay.
OS
Oscillator out.
out,
Yeah. Uh
SVS.
yeah. You know what this looks like to me? Is the logic diagram for
Oh, it's written
final
here.
logic translation of
Yeah,
okay. That's what I was gonna
T
guess.
final logic translation. But these standard cells,
Yeah,
these
that's what SC stands for, standard cell.
okay. So schematic revision M or something
Yeah, looks like
one.
an
I don't
M.
know. M. Timex TS1500, T final logic translation, VLSI
Yeah,
I, standard cells, sheet number 4 of 5, job number whatever, NCR Med, my
Miamisburg.
Miamisburg,
Wonder where that.
Miamisburg.
Wonder where that
And
is.
then a number that resembles a lot the numbers used by Timex, although I don't know this one, 609
609. Yeah, that might be it.
0380485. I don't know if it was some. This one has the header again, so it goes on, and now it has some
505. Yeah.
information here.
Okay. Oh, look at this. Revision A through
It's a change log, yes.
H.
Yeah, revision of the document. So it's H probably, not M. Is it H? No,
It's
M.
H. It goes
Clearly.
GFH.
No,
So,
but it's clearly an M.
but that's an M, right? But look at
So
that's clearly
probably, yeah.
an H there.
Okay, L. Two revisions missing. Okay, what about why don't we have the other in the previous sheets? Was it
Oh, cut off.
some scanning issue?
Yeah. You can see that it would be there, but it it's cut
Yeah.
off.
Okay, never mind.
Wow. Holy
So
crap.
it's what it is.
That is insane. So this is really cool because we've talked about um the various iterations of the SCLD and looked at the physical devices, right?
the 3 weeks the three
Yeah,
weeks.
and we could probably line it up with each of these. We could probably figure out
So
which of the devices lines up with these revisions.
yeah, 28th of 12, 5th of January, 10th of January, 14th of January.
23rd. So it's about every week or so for the
Yeah,
first
here
part of
it's
the
more
year.
frequent. 1st of February, then
Yeah.
he gets 1 month, almost 2 or 3 weeks at least.
Some keyboard pull-ups. Wow, that's really crazy. So
Very well.
Miamisburg is in Ohio. Interesting. And NCR had an office there, or
Okay.
some kind of location there.
NCR MED, MED. I don't know if it stands for something.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, oh, MED, yeah, MED.
Yeah, clear. Job number.
Okay, that's
Wow.
what it is. Shall we go on?
Well, yeah. I mean,
You have access to it, so you can
that's
dig in.
amazing.
Yeah.
Uh,
But this exists for other stuff. So I saw diagrams like this for at least for the Portuguese computers. They keep popping up some of this
Some logic diagrams like
documentation.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Some of
Okay.
this exists. Okay, what's the next one? Modem
Oh,
specification.
hey.
Oh, by the
Of-
way, unrelated to the normal flow of the conversation, during these days there was a modem for the. I'm trying to remember what was the connection with US, but I think it was in US that I saw this, and I think it was a modem for the TS1000, but kind of a handmade. It was on eBay recently,
Oh, okay.
so it was expensive, so I didn't try to buy it. But still, somehow I got it because it had something related to Timex, but it didn't seem to me to be something very clear. But still, I stopped thinking. So if so the modems that so the West Reach, we spoke about it several times already.
Yep.
That one was also for the 1500, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 1000, 1500,
Okay,
2068.
so it's the very beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
But there are two types. Okay, two types of modem for use with 1000 and 1500.
Interesting. I wonder what happened to the two.
To the two types.
Yeah.
Modem type. The modem supply notice specification are to be direct connection FCC registered types. It will be 300 baud
Oh
asynchronous.
my gosh. I remember 300 baud. I mean, it seemed, it was certainly faster than 110. Uh and 1200 seemed incredibly fast at the time.
Yeah, but it's really, really, really slow. Um, basic functions and features, data rate, model shall operate 300 baud. Okay, data
Okay.
parity, specifications for the serial communication.
All right. I'm curious to see what the difference is between the two modems.
Yeah, I would like to know. Auto
Highly
dial,
desirable. Auto
auto
answer.
redial,
Okay.
and the tone and pulse thing that phones used to have
Yes, right.
with EMF.
Yeah, yeah.
Compatibility requirements. Computer connection. Modem supply and this specification must
Yeah.
plug into the okay. Telephone connection.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, this doesn't tell us. Oh,
VS
there's
Vita
one.
Shift
Yeah, probably.
and probably some secretary.
Yep. All right.
Vita Shift.
Oh, okay.
Then a document that seems different.
Yeah,
TS
this, oh, this
2000.
is the wall mount, the power supply for the 2000. Okay.
Yep. What's the date to
Also,
see?
Victor Schiff, I think.
It's on the right timing. Yeah, VS seems.
Yeah.
Final engineering approval. New issue. So at the same time,
Yeah.
8th of April, they were dealing with things for the 2000, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Page 2 of 3, Vita Shift, clearly. Purpose.
Oh, what's the output of this supposed to be? 14. Okay. All right.
The?
I was wondering what the voltage
Ah,
output of it was supposed to be. Because I remember we talked about this. We came across something
14 volts.
where initially it might have been 9 volts, but
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Because this, yeah, so this, so it goes in the direction of what became the TS 2068,
Yep.
which is what they called initially the TS 2000.
Yeah, I called it that for a long time. Leads to all
Yeah.
sorts of confusion too.
Yeah. Transfer. There were where was it? I don't know if it was in the museum in UK that I visit, where a computer that I referred this to you before, so it's nothing special. It's just a different mold they use for a Spectrum in Portugal that is based on the 1500 one. And I think it was misclassified as a TS2000 prototype, which happens, of course, but it's
Hmm.
nothing fancy. It's a normal Spectrum. Okay, temperature, conditions, storage, chop, vibration.
Continuous pull of 10 pounds of force for the house.
100 times.
Okay, cool.
Output DC supply cord. Copper wire, black PVC insulated, well style, rated temperature. Length, supply cord.
Not long
What
enough.
about the plug, the output plug? I was trying to check if it is the normal barrel one.
Oh, yeah.
Deep polarity shall be negative output,
Yep.
and the shaft cylinder positive, so it's like the spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Black thermoplastic rated UL 94V0. Now, the ones in Portugal, the power supplies, they say Timex, but that was normal. Normally yours, they say
Mhm.
DVE, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the end, they basically use something external.
Yep.
Am I assuming right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. We got DVE power supplies for the 1000 and for the 2068.
Yeah. Okay. And so, yeah, name of manufacturer, date, code of manufacturer, approved, whatever. Okay, because in Portugal they did it themselves. So let me try to. Oh, this is the schematics of the same
Yeah,
thing.
the
So
physical.
it's the plug. I could rotate if needed.
No, that's okay.
It's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just need to find where. Okay, the bridge rectifier.
Yeah. Little smoothing capacitor. Yeah.
Yep, nothing special. Okay, very well. Let's go on.
Interesting. Program.
April 13, the veto to all these people.
Yeah.
Elen or Eileen is marked. I
I wonder
Eileen,
who
how do you
that
say
is.
this? Not Eileen. How do you
I think
read
it's
this?
Helene.
Eileen.
Yeah.
Helena in Portuguese, Hélène probably in French. Okay.
Yeah. We say it
Okay.
with a hard H.
Okay. Schiff we recognize. Kerm, Tivansky appears a lot. Pond, Nathan. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The attached program plan for TS represented an additional 2 weeks sleep in overall
Oh,
schedule. Is this the plan that they were asking in the other telex?
I think so.
Okay, this was due to the third pass I see from NCR being unacceptable and having to go for a fourth pass. Okay, Mr.
Yeah, we know about
DeVito.
that. Oh
Oh,
well,
these ones are nice. They say everything they need to do with the blocks.
with a
Modify
big
the
old
manual,
chart.
proof and release. Yeah. Receipts at Torrington.
That's Connecticut.
Okay.
I wonder what's in.
FCC submission, FCC approval, qualification and release, purchase components,
I wonder if those
manufacture
numbers are week numbers. Torrington, pack out and release.
F week, F week 10, F week 14.
Yeah.
So week 10 is mid-March,
Yeah. And
but
30.
they are in April already, but probably it's not done, so it's not marked in black. Week 4, week 9.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so the
probably it
30th
is.
week
Probably it's
would have been late July of 83.
the 30.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So what happened in the middle of May? They announced it, or they said we are
Yeah.
taking orders, or they said it's available to get it. You can buy it right now.
Just that it would be coming.
Okay. So okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Timing
didn't
for
take
the
orders from
this is not bad. No,
individuals.
knowing that Clive Sinclair in the 60s said he had the TVs and he didn't, so he only
Mhm.
sold it in the 70s. I don't think it's very bad a couple of months.
Right, right.
Okay, what else?
Oh,
ROS interface and cartridges. Kim
nice.
Paternostro, April 13. Logic design proposal and preliminary part is for the ROM oriented software interface to the TS. Now, is it the 15, the
10.
reader, the card, the
Yeah,
1510
1510.
or something else?
No,
Okay.
this is the 1510.
Okay. Also include is a description of the actual 8K or 8K plus 16K cartridge hardware.
Yeah.
So they add different cartridges.
Well, proposed, certainly. I don't know. There were only like 3 or 4 cartridges released.
4? Only 4?
Was it 4? Okay.
Yeah, I only have 3. I never
Okay.
saw one of those. I think it's States and Capitals or something like that. I never saw it.
Okay.
We have the flight simulator, we have the chess, and we have another one. There is supposedly a fourth one. I never saw it.
Okay.
I don't know if I should say this, but I visit a place, a former an electronics store in Portugal. It was a few years ago. So a friend invited me to go there, and among many things we found and we bought for the museum, there was it's even hard to describe, but there was this box with I don't know how many hundreds, I mean, of cartridges for the 1500
Oh my
without
gosh.
packages, only the cartridges,
Just cartridge, yeah.
just like some leftovers, you know,
Huh.
with lots of them, but only two of the four cartridges. There was just one of the third one that I got, and yeah, that was it.
Oh, that's so funny because
Yeah.
they're rare as hen's teeth here.
Okay, the 16K RAM pack is incompatible with this.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the jumper,
Hmm.
yeah, display
Okay.
processing. Okay.
Hardware 274 LS.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay, right. It has its own. That's right. It does have its own little power supply built in. Yeah, yeah, and a heatsink, right?
Now that you start reading about it, it seems much more complicated than just a tiny.
Well, I've seen somebody has taken it apart and cloned it.
Yeah, cartridge hardware, chip on board design. This is what you said before to
Yeah,
me. Okay. I have a couple, one or two that are open or without the case because I got them like that.
yeah,
So
little black blob, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, precisely that. We have it on display on the museum, I think. Then the bill of materials.
Oh, all right. Pretty small.
Okay.
Pretty small.
Yeah, simple thing.
Mm-hmm.
Capacitor, IC, case. Okay, that's it.
Nice. Wow,
I
that's
should print
cool.
this one and put next to the cartridge reader. Very
Oh
urgent.
boy.
April 26th, TS1500 Portugal design. This goes to Álvaro Oliveira, Pedro Esteves, which is a good friend, Castanheira, and Nuno Amorim, which he was Castanheira. I don't remember what was his role, and Amorim was in purchasing, I think, or something like that, or import export, something like that. For RFI evaluation, I've sent a new sample of TS1500. So who signs this? Gomes. Antonio Gomes is signing this. Okay, the general manager in Portugal. New sample. Flight details as follow. We are proceeding at our end with the 500 units pilot production. However, we will require for central purchasing details of delivery for cases, rubber keyboards, and overlay in order to meet May 9 target to ship 5. Okay, I think this is where it starts. The stress they had with these computers, with the RFI.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some documents where they were complaining about all of this. So this was not a smooth process. Let's see what we have more. But so on April 26th, they sent a sample to go through it. Now we're going back in time.
Okay.
Someone wrote Portugal, April 12th. Oliveira is here, and the other are all from abroad. Lou Gailey. Your attendance is requested at a meeting in South Training Room on April 29 at 1:30. They were planning this with lots of time. Regarding final release design review of TS1500. Okay.
2 weeks before the public announcement.
Yeah, but it's planned with 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
But this Oliveira is not well written, but it's a letter missing. But this tells us one thing that Álvaro told me, Álvaro Oliveira told me, and it makes some sense, which is he was deeply involved with the team in US. So it's the only Portuguese guy here, but he's being invited for that. So yeah, he was pretty much involved somehow.
Wow.
What else? Nuno Amorim, Danny Foot or some Full Foot. We saw this name before.
Yeah.
E Oliveira. Telex reference for the attention of Tony Gomes e Pedro Esteves. TS 1500 boards. 28th of April. Okay. So it's the day before that specific meeting. It's the day before that meeting. Prototypes 12 shipped today, including 2 spares not charged for, with the details. Now look at this. This is being shipped from who to whom? So this is signed. Okay. Now there's, yes. Now I got it. This is, I knew this, but now I have something that proves it. Look at this. So I was trying to understand. Okay, so this is being sent by a guy called Tom Clark.
Yeah.
With CC to Stuart Bickerstaff from PCL.
Yeah.
PCL stands for Prestwick Circuits Limited. It's the biggest manufacturer of PCBs for the Spectrum, as far as I know. I'm
Okay.
throwing to the table that is the biggest, but at least is the well-known one. I think it's the one that did most of the things.
Yeah.
Stuart Bickerstaff was the general manager of Timex Portugal in the second half of the 70s. So
Okay.
first was a guy called Albert Dahl. Bickerstaff was his second in command. Then Albert Dahl went for another company in Portugal, and Bickerstaff became the general manager in Portugal. Then came the revolution in Portugal. Then Tony Gomes became the general manager.
Interesting.
So, and I've always heard that, I was told that Bickerstaff was a shareholder or something from PCL.
Okay.
And this, if I don't find any other, this one confirms it. So there's no doubt about this. Now, this is being sent. I don't know where PCL was, but it was in the UK.
Yeah.
This is being sent by the guys from Prestwick, and they are sending a document to Timex Portugal.
Yeah.
And sending it to Tony Gomes and Pedro Esteves. 1500 boards. Okay, and they're sending something from Glasgow. So probably Prestwick is in Glasgow, not in, it's in UK, it's in Scotland probably.
Yeah.
Or was. Glasgow to Zurich, Zurich to Lisbon.
Yeah.
Also included are photostat copies of changes detailed on point 2 of Telex Pedro Esteves, Ken McClure. I don't know who Ken McClure is. Muck, probably a name from here. Yes.
Pedro is probably the circuit board designer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The PCB designer, yes.
Okay.
Designer or I don't want to say assembler. The printing, the guys that printed it.
Yeah.
Designer, I'm just skipping the word or avoiding the word design because I don't know if the design was made by the supplier of the PCB or if it was made by the engineering team and then like we do today nowadays, and then we just hire the printing service, the manufacturing service.
Right.
So I don't know what Prestwick did on that sense, if they did the spread of the components or if they got that and they just implemented it. That part I don't know.
Okay.
750 off. Changes have been made. No further artwork change possible. Finish all size for ICs. 0.75 millimeters. Tooling manufacturing setup for delivery. Prestwick on Monday, 9 of May. Split delivery. Factory closed tomorrow and Monday. Apart from tooling people, you can contact me tomorrow. Extremely large follow-on orders. Design changes by Ken McClure next week. Inshallah is with Pedro. Pedro is the director of production in Portugal.
Okay.
Okay.
Crazy.
But so we know another thing, which is the PCBs for these prototypes were made by Prestwick.
Yeah.
Nothing special, but probably we didn't know that.
No, I had no clue. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I got my hands on another, just to validate our theory, on another 1500 in the recent lot we got from Luís Bandeira. Now I have the devices with me in the museum, most of them already. And there was another 1500, and it's another one with the Ferranti ULA. And again, it's a PAL one. So we have at least two now.
Interesting. Okay.
So it confirms that theory. The date codes, I saw them. I don't remember them now, but I can double check it later. But they were early phase.
Okay.
So it makes some sense that they did some initial version with it. Okay, let's go on. Almost in the end of April. De Vito, Eckhart, Lugaili, Isaacs, Oliveira, end of April. Meeting on 21st. Test equipment for the TS. The test plan and agree with it with these exceptions. Now, I would love to know who this Al is, because there are this Al. I'm just saying this because I think there are two Als in Timex. One could be Álvaro Oliveira because the two initial letters are Al, A-L.
Right.
Okay. And my friend Bruno remember that Lou Gailey talked a lot about a certain Al. Okay. But we thought it was not Álvaro Oliveira because of some other things. And I think I saw already in other documents another guy with the same similar name, not Portuguese.
Okay.
So now I read this and I see they are abbreviating the name AL, and I don't know if this AL is Álvaro Oliveira or not.
Okay.
We do have a telex from Álvaro Oliveira to someone like we saw saying do a test plan like we did for the TS2000. So could be Álvaro Oliveira, but I'm not sure. Okay, this is an important area which we made suggestion how to provide. As discussed earlier, Portugal will define a use tester for the TS1500 logic array and use that to correlate with the manufacturer.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. So a test device.
We have the test device that you know. I mentioned it to you before for the 1000 and 1500. We also have a test, not cartridge, a test interface. I don't know if it is that or not.
Well, no, what they're saying here is
It's just for the component, right?
tester just for the SCLD. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would expect to find some PCB with a socket for the SCLD.
Yeah.
Or something like that to be able to test them.
Yeah, like a
by
little
sampling.
zero insertion force socket. Yep. Evaluate the tester that were designed to test the 1000. So that's the thing that's probably that schematic that we looked at, I think, in the first
Okay.
episode. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the Super K test is, other than, does it come up with a K? But what do they mean by Super K?
It should be some. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I would expect it to be something from the manufacturing process, some kind of tests they use normally.
Yeah.
Like saying just in time, or saying quality circles and concepts that they use in manufacturing.
I think that they're referring to the K cursor when you turn it on.
Oh yeah.
I think
Super
that's
K.
Yeah. And so I think, to me,
it's
a K test would be you turn it on, does it come up with a K? But then a Super K might be, is there additional testing somehow? Because you can inject all the signals you want and need at the edge connector.
Yeah.
So you could, have a keyboard emulation coming in through the edge connector, for instance.
And simulate all the rest. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very well. To missing. Ross Nathan to Lugaily, Portugal TS1500 on April 21st.
Yeah.
Again, no one from Portugal here, but somehow they send it and it's written here, Oliveira Esteves de Amorim.
Yeah.
Okay. We have concluded our detailed analysis of cost, schedule, and technical parameters of the TS1500 proposal from Portugal with the following results. Just to remember everyone, if they didn't see the previous episode, in a certain moment in time, it seems that someone in Portugal came up with an alternative design and sent it to US. And there's a document from Lou Gaelic saying something like, we were not expecting this, seems interesting. And now they're looking at the merits and comparing the advantages and all of that.
Right, right.
Okay, so cost. The following chart itemizes the cost difference between the TS1500 from Portugal and the current TS1500 design. I would love to be able to map these things to the objects we have. So material is lower. From inventory is lower. Common, unique, landed cost slightly lower.
Yeah.
Analysis of the above cost indicates that the Portugal design enjoys. Look, they talk about the ULA.
Yeah.
Enjoys a cost advantage due to the use of the lower price Ferranti ULAs and due to the lack of circuitry to address the inability of the TS1000 to properly tune digitally.
Okay, the new TV sets.
So the Ferranti ULA is their proposal to reuse existing stock, and but then in the end they didn't do it, or if they did, it was for not for long, and even not in US. We never saw one with a VHF modulator.
Right, and that makes sense that Portugal would have used the Ferranti because they would not have had the same access to the SCLD that was being developed.
Our analysis of the schedule is that there is no advantage of one over the other. In other words, the schedule is a dead wash with shipments anticipated
by week
or
20.
either from Torrington by week 28, given best efforts on either computer. Technical. The following are the major technical differences between two approaches. Man, I can summarize this and put with the two computers side by side. Portugal TS1500 uses Ferranti ULAs.
Yeah.
No, it's two.
Yeah, it does say
It's
two.
two.
It's two. It's supposed to be TWO,
Okay.
but it's a typo.
Okay. Yeah. One of these, the original TS1000 ULA, has been a continued problem to Timex. It is suspected of being a major source of the RFI emanations.
Yeah.
Emissions.
Yeah,
Emanations is correct.
It's not. I don't even think that's spelled right.
It's emissions, right?
It's emissions, yes, but
Yeah.
you know they would have said emanations as well.
Okay. Of the TS1000 and contributes to heat-related reliability and modulator drift problems.
Okay.
The second is a new ULA designed for Sinclair to lower the cost of the RAM pack. There is very little history with this part. By contrast, the Middlebury TS1500 uses a custom circuit from a highly reputable vendor, NPR, which will be subject to exhaustive testing prior to delivery to Timex. We have little production experience with this part as well. Portugal makes no attempt to fix the problems of incompatibility with late model color TV sets.
Yeah, okay.
And the other one has made redesigns to deal with that. Portugal TS1500 adopts a band-aid approach to addressing the problem of poor reliability of cassette tape PO.
Oh, that's interesting. So
the Middlebury adopts the design of ZX, which guarantees the perfect loader environment for cassette tapes. Okay. Okay. The first prototype from Portugal exhibits severe drift problems after operation longer than 20-25 minutes. This is believed to be attributed to very high thermal heat in the unit, most of which is caused by front ULAs. RFI. Initial testing of prototype shows it to be well below FCC Class B minimums in the configuration test. Unfortunately, tests of Portugal unit with peripherals were aborted due to accidental destruction of TS1500 from Portugal caused by plugging in the printer power connected to the computer. Come on, they broke the computer, man. It would stay so nice in the museum. We are going to attempt to run this test again next week. Initial tests of the worst case Middlebury TS prototype with partially functioning parts from NCR indicated failure in several frequency bands. Okay, retesting will be done. They were really screwed without knowing where to go. Marketing requirements. Our analysis indicates that it will be possible to make TS1500 from Portugal comply with all marketing requirements for the 1500, except the requirement for auto-selectable channels on television sets. Yeah. The TS will require a manual switch similar to the TS1000. Okay. In summation, the current plan is to obtain 500 TS15 units from Portugal and to build 250 engineering prototypes from Middlebury. Quality control will run preliminary testing on both versions of the 1500, shooting for a risk assessment report no later than June 1st. This is crazy. They need to ship computers and they're still not knowing what to do. At that time, all of the data will be in two options and a business decision to proceed can be made. Some items of special interest concerning are, okay, Middlebury uses more inventory. The major component of cost in Middlebury is the NCR. This is in contrast with Portugal, whose major cost component is the TI,
RAMs.
the RAMs.
Yeah.
The Portugal alternative requires no special manufacturing capital investment, whereas the Middlebury requires equipment to deal with 68-pin lead chip carriers. May 8th, they're going to start this.
Interesting.
Gaily.
So we're going to start QC a week before we announce that this thing's going to be available.
Gaily to Ross Nathan, yes. But this is a very, very good document because it gives an honest analysis of what they thought in US about it. And
what each proposal was, because up to this point we didn't really
understood very
have
well
a great understanding of what Portugal was proposing.
And now we have a previous document from Pedro Esteves, the production director, to Tony Gomes, managing director, about our Portugal alternative.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
So this one will be nice. But one thing that I think it makes sense to me is, well, I don't know if they had spare ULAs. Probably not, because ULAs, I remember they told me ULAs were a nightmare for them because they needed ULAs and Sinclair controlled it a lot. So you could not get ULAs for your own computers. So I was thinking if the reason was to get rid of stock of the ULAs from the 1000, but probably not. I don't know. but probably they had a lot of things from the RAM chips and they wanted to get rid of it. But the RAMs are the 4116, right? Are the ones using the Spectrum also.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Following is the functional description of our alternative developed in Portugal.
Right. So the memory map is the 1000 memory map.
On the normal, the map will be like this.
Yeah.
The internal uses 24416.
Customer the Franti. Okay.
I saw this chip several times.
Yeah.
I do have it, and I was puzzled because it said Ferranti. Okay, now we know better what it is.
Yeah.
So one advantage they claim is that you keep the address lines with normal load. When you put this, introduction of this remaps it.
Neat. Changing the RAM top. Right. Okay.
Page 2 of 2. If machine code program is okay on third.
Yeah. Set the computer to fast mode.
The fast mode, yes.
Yeah.
And then put it back on. So okay. Okay. Doesn't say much. It's what it says. Okay.
That's crazy.
I think we have some more time. So let's move to May.
Let's start with May.
In May, we have some documents. So we have these two documents that were misclassified.
Okay.
And they were in 82, I think. And then here we also have two documents that I moved this morning because they were from March by mistake. They are here. They should be here. So let's start with these two, just to understand where they're from. So this one is from middle of May, 12th of May at LX, and another LX. Let's just look at this, mid-May, both of them. Okay, so Gomes and Oliveira, who signs this? Dundee.
Yeah.
But looks why does Lou Gailey signs as being, because this means it's being from Timex Dundee, right?
Well, I think go back up to the top of the document.
This is the destination.
Yeah. I don't understand. I mean, it doesn't make sense if these folks are in Connecticut, why the telex came through Dundee.
There must be someone here that is from the, and that's the part that I don't have very well covered.
Well,
which is the part from Dundee.
My suspicion is that there's a cost involved in physical distance.
Yep.
To send a telex directly from the US to Portugal would be more expensive
than to
go from Dundee to Portugal.
Yeah.
So somehow
they relay it. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember seeing this document before. This is the one where they are complaining. And so basically, there was a document before from Tony Gomes complaining that the guys in US didn't do what they should to get the computers out of the customs or whatever. And now Lou Gehling is clarifying it and saying, you're a section that lack of action on our part was responsible for the delay to get the 6 units is incorrect. I gave obtaining these units highest priority. I was quite disappointed not being able to get them in time for the RFI tests, blah, blah, blah. We need to fix this.
Yeah.
We could not get the units until it was too late to meet the testing window. So these units failed to go to the RFI testing.
Right.
And then this message to me is very important, this final part. He says, I share your frustration. Be assured that my intention is to cooperate with you rather than compete with you. I hope we have better luck next time. Because during all these documents, it seems they are competing, but at the same time, there is another document we saw before saying, independently of which design wins, it will be assembled in Portugal. So, well, obviously there were some politics here, corporate politics involved. So this other one is also from the 12th. We don't have hours in telex as far as I know, unless this is a code.
No, it does not. Yeah.
So we don't know which one is first, but they are from the same day. On this, so 12th of May on the same day to Tony Gomes, but this one is being signed by who? Lou Gailey again. And now he's saying today we were able to get late Wednesday afternoon. I had them airmailed to Washington, D.C., where the RFI testing was under process. We were able to get the test lab to perform the tests today. with the following results.
Interesting. Okay.
So they are above maximum limits. So they are not performing well. With one with aluminium and another with nickel plating. Radiative failures will also occur. I have arranged for a complete characterization of things to be conducted by Tuesday of next week. We'll forward to you.
And the video quality was terrible.
Oh no, this one is nice. There was a document I saw before, not this one. There was a document saying something like this. These are the computers with the worst quality I ever saw of signal. So we will find that for sure. But so you should have been informed that video quality is very poor. Interference levels, fuzziness, and picture quality are as bad or worse than TS with RAM packs. The test conditions were a TS1500 from Portugal with a tape cassette attached and did not include any peripherals. I have asked for a full characterization of your units, including available peripherals. I will forward data to you. So, good news, we got the computers. Bad news, they're not good.
They're terrible.
Okay, let's go on. 24th of May, TS1500 loading difficulties. Okay, we have looked into this problem and built two 1500 with pulse reshaper circuitry in order to improve level of loading acceptance of the computer. Who signs this? Tony Gomes. Okay, we built two computers with pulse reshaper circuitry in order to improve this. One unit has a LED that when is on indicates the program will enter. The other one has the same circuitry, but the LED cost difference is $0.12. Would recommend the utilization of the LED in order to simplify the operation to users. Overall cost of this circuitry introduction is this. If populated on existing PCB, believe circuitry can be applied in any of the versions. The two samples are being hand carried at this date by J. Birch. Regards. Okay, so you know the name? Yeah.
No, but in the US, this is a well-known problem. And there was a company in Pennsylvania that developed a thing called a Winky board, and it was called a Winky board because it had an LED. It did exactly what this did.
I'm pretty sure Bruno gave me one or two of those.
It's a tiny little circuit board. It's got a couple, jacks on it and a little cable with a plug. You can use it to you crank up the audio until the LED starts lighting like this suggests. And
so it's a visual indicator that the audio should be okay.
Yep.
I wonder if it is like the one I still have here, the one I mentioned before, because although I have the schematics, the fact is I never paid much attention to it yet. So the one I referred before, the prototype Timex did. So this has a 9-volt DC, then has a cable for the mic and the ear and an exit for those. And it seems it has a 9-volt DC output. So this is probably a pass-through of for the computer. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's doing something to the audio and has a LED also.
Well, so if that has 9-volt, that tells me it's probably an active device, meaning that there's
and the other one is just a passive.
Yeah, the Winky board's passive.
Give me just 1 second. This is open, so if I'm very careful, I'll show it to you. Give me just 1 second. So I know it's not the best way, but okay. So LED. So we have what? So this is completely handmade.
Yep.
In one of those breadboards. We have a dozen of resistors, one diode, and I have the schematics. I'm not sure if they are here, but I do have the schematics. Then in terms of ICs, it uses LM324N and something that I don't recognize, CA1458E RCA141. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Small.
So the 324 is an op amp. I don't know what the RCA chip is, but so that makes sense. So that's an active filter circuit.
Amplifier, filter and amplifier.
Yep. Okay. Probably squaring up the signals.
So this is the one that was done by Rui Morgado. Okay, very well.
Makes sense.
Okay. I'll put it back.
That's very cool.
Okay, so this one we saw already, nothing else. This one
But I can see where Middlebury would be not particularly interested in, having an external device like that, where they would want it to be
Yeah,
inside the computer somehow.
yeah, yeah. So we're talking a little bit before 19th of May. Following equipment is required for online control adjustment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, frequency counter.
Frequency
Nice.
counter.
Yeah, they were expensive
Yeah.
back then. Oh yeah, yeah. Sweep signal RF generator. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about right.
So they're asking for money. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and then that's a big chunk of money.
Check the tuning issues.
Tickle
Tickle
list.
list on beginning of May. Lots and lots of people
Hmm.
from Denley. I think we saw the name
I
before.
think we did. Yeah.
The guy is not very happy with the way the
No,
plan is
no,
being presented.
indeed.
So we didn't get the things we needed, and you're saying we are delayed.
Hmm.
Okay.
Poor Denley.
Yeah. Mid-May, 11th. RFI units again. Okay.
Oh, oh, the 11th. Okay. So this is the day before those
Oh,
two.
this is the one from Tony Gomes complaining, saying you guys didn't do what you should.
Yeah.
Last time the unit was cleared from customs on the very same day of arrival. So the only explanation is you did not do it. Lack of action. Okay, and then Lou answered as we saw before.
Also the
Okay,
same days.
same day, pilot production of TS1500s. Unfortunately, due to late shipping of components under responsibility of USA,
Yeah.
cases, keyboards, and overlays, shipment could not be met. We received only 150 cases, which required to be metallized and painted. We'll ship this week on 150, and the remaining quantity will be shipped when other cases are received, expect to ship May 18th,
Hmm.
because they were planning for 500, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember a joke they had. Um, I was no, they talk about painting, and when I visit the former location of the factory of the unit,
Yeah.
there was a place where they spray painted when there were problems. They spray painted the FDDs 3000, the floppy
Okay.
disk systems. And I was going there, and the guy with me said, "Oh no, this part is not interesting. It's only when they did some painting." And I said, "No, I want to see it because you guys told me that you painted some things here." And then they have a private joke because I think the word, I'm not sure if the word is PAL or RAL, PAL or RAL. Now, RAL in Portugal has another meaning, which is the color code and things like that. But I think the word they used was PAL. So they referred to the painting as PAL. What is PAL? In Portuguese means pintura ar livre. In English, this means open air painting. So what
Okay.
they're basically saying is, okay, this is an open area where we just spray paint whatever is needed when we need to
So,
to accomplish something. So it
uh,
was not a formal place for painting. It's where they would well
like,
find a
like,
way to fix some problems when they came up. But they have that private joke over here.
so was it completely open or was it
No,
outdoors?
it was not completely open. It was inside the building,
Okay.
but
Okay.
at least nowadays it doesn't even have a door or anything like that. But there was an area where they could paint the
Huh.
things. But what they mean is that it was not a professional place with eating and things like that. So it was basically something they
Hmm.
came up with just to fix severe things.
Hmm.
Okay. But so they had to paint it, and that's why the painted device. That's why I remembered. Very well. Okay, RFI units. Okay, they
Hmm.
are still fighting with the computers that have not appeared, the 6 computers.
Hmm.
Okay, this was
Hmm.
not arriving in time, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah.
And that memo that we just saw before was probably Antonio responding to this one.
No, I think the memo, well, probably, but I don't know if it's the same thing because the memo, the previous one, is about the prototypes. the
Oh,
big
I'm
amount
sorry.
of prototypes. And this one is about the
No,
6 units to
the
be.
two before that
Oh
the
yeah, that one. Yes, it is. Now on 11th of May. Okay. Oh no, Antonio was referring to this one. So now they're saying probably they reduced the 500 to 250. So the 250 quality control models of Portugal version, which were due here today, have not arrived. Have they been shipped? If so, please send us information. This is delaying the comparison of the systems, the two systems. And then Antonio is complaining you only shipped 150
Yep.
keyboards and cases, so we will ship those and then the other ones, but we could not meet the deadline.
We'll send you what we got.
Yeah. Now, beginning of May, so we are a few days before, for the RFI. So there was a phone call between Álvaro Oliveira and FLN. Information provided is radiation test results are well below limits required by FCC. And there was a first sample that was even worse. Conduction test failed at single frequency. On the second unit test, we have utilized the normal chokes available in stock for the TS1000. What are the chokes?
Oh, it's a filter. It's called a this is right there, ferrite filter. You put it on.
Yeah, I know what it is. They had lots and lots of samples of those. Alvaro had many of those. All sizes. He had the catalog of the supplier with all the sizes, so I have that. Okay. The difference of these two ferrites is that on the first one, the Q factor gives max working frequency of 4 megahertz, and second one 100. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. As agreed in Middlebury, we have been investigating possible frequency drift of the Aztec modulator.
Interesting. Okay.
The 6 samples will be as follows: 2 units with nickel acrylic paint, with copper metallization nickel acrylic paint, and 2 with aluminum metallization. Okay. If they pass, then assemble a non-metallized case to analyze if.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Thinking. And this was to Pedro Esteves. Linave. Linave was a company in Portugal. Lisnave.
Interesting. I wonder if that's where the
Who
third.
signed this? Lou Gailey, Tony DeVito. Ah, no, Tony Gomes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Almost in the end of May. Okay, still the RFI samples. To advise that this date, we have sent them.
Oh, so this is a follow-up to the prior.
They only sent 3. Okay, 3 were sent with a nickel acrylic painted case and 3 with aluminum metallization reinforced with this. Flight details are this. Would appreciate to have results of test report as soon as possible, along with results achieved by US samples version submitted for the same test. I wonder what he is after. Then, beginning of May. Okay, it's another comparison of the systems.
Oh, okay. The difference in RAM.
Okay, and they have the following comments. So this is signed by Tony Gomes, okay? And it's being sent to US. Okay, Portugal version will use
cost, I think.
Okay, and will enable the company to sell with profit. So they are complaining with the analysis, the previous one we saw. So they are claiming they have other advantages.
Yeah.
The analysis then are that inventory utilization disposal will be US dollars, Portugal version versus, and in US they were saying it was only 8.
Yeah.
And they're claiming, no, you should look at this in another way because we are selling with profit the memories. Technical, as explained at our meeting during Writer's visit to Middlebury, tighter control will be made at Ferrand in our end using a ULA functional tester developed in Portugal to be applied at 70 centigrade degrees.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna
good segregation of quality.
They're gonna take Ferranti parts and test them for the ones that are better performant.
Yeah. Okay, the loader concept Z expector of the AGC in ULA could also be introduced on the ULA if requested from Ferranti. However, our approach is to consider automatic gain control, probably, on the fast loader, which is the thing I showed you.
Yeah.
Which will eliminate the loading problems of the 1500 at the same time, solve the problem existing with 1000 sold up to now in US market. So that's why Portugal was suggesting to have an external device.
External device, yeah.
Yeah. Problems of drift attributed to Aztec modulator are being looked at this end and believe a solution will be obtained. Concerning US modulator concept, we would like to refer that this concept cannot be utilized in countries where UHF is the operating system, which using Aztec modulator is a simple replacement of the unit using same PCB. So they were, I think we saw something about this before. They were considering other modulators a part of the Aztec, and we do have some computers here that are not using the Aztec modulator, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And they are VHF. We know that. So
UHF is right. Okay.
So now the question is this: were the 1500s sold mostly in US with the Aztec modulator or not? Or it's a mixture? Because if all of them normal production ones were sold with Aztec modulators, means that the ones we are getting access to are some of these earlier machines.
Yeah, no, the ones that were sold in the US were with the Aztec modulator. Yeah.
Okay, so we should look at these ones with more attention on a second iteration. Okay, David, I think this accomplished also May. So perhaps we could leave it here today. Let me just see what we have ahead of us. Nothing in June. That's strange. So they didn't work in June. So in 83, we have October, we have November and December.
Yeah.
Nothing in June, July, August, or September. So I don't know. Probably we have them, but they are miscategorized. And then we have several documents here. Just open one just to see what it is. QRL. QRL is a new peripheral which incorporates improved filtering and built-in software. Save and load routines which replace the standard software of this and completely bypasses the ERMIC checks operating instead through the edge connector. Okay.
QRL. Interesting.
We need to see if we have this. Okay.
All right.
So it seems we won't get, at least from this set, we won't get more information about what happened until the release. Who won the discussion about which version? We may not have it here, but at the same time, we do have a. I don't expect it to have such earlier documentation, but now we have documentation from Pedro Esteves and documentation from Luís Bandeira. Not as much as this one from Álvaro, but lots and lots of documentation. So we have a huge pile in the museum to start scanning, but it will take months.
Yeah, right. I know that.
Yeah, and so the one from Pedro Esteves may have something because he was already involved in all of this. And Pedro is also very organized. The one from Luís Bandeira, so he became the commercial director. And so what we have from him is more from the late stage, the China projects from the Tenet and all of that, the FDD systems, all of that, not so much from the early stage. I don't think we'll have anything from the 1500 from Luís Bandeira. From Pedro Esteves, we may have. So if I have some time, I'll try to just take a schema reading on the paper version and we can check it. In the meantime, next episode, we go to October.
Yes. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, Joao. It's been fun. As usual. It's been fun as usual, and we'll jump forward into the future, I guess, the next time.
Very well. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Ciao, everyone.